everybody, and welcome to another video about how to install games on Linux. So this is basically for all the distros, but in this case it applies to Ubuntu only in case it fails. So first thing, make sure that you have the same hardware, okay, that the game minimal requirements, it shows in the Steam storage space. So here on the storage page, we can see some minimum requirements there, at least the minimum. And this is like really, really, really old. Well, actually a good video card there. But that's the minimum. Minimum for that for the game. Okay? Or for whatever games you're using. I'm guessing most people that are watching this have much better hardware. And then to install Ubuntu and to configure Ubuntu and to do a lot of things on it, it's not complicated anymore. It's very easy. It's getting to the point that it's very intuitive, the whole process. Okay, so first step, you go to ubuntu.com. Second step, you go to download Ubuntu here. Okay, you could download the stable one, it's called. They're actually all stable. Okay, so you might be in that 1% that has some issues or another, but over the past, I would say more or less eight versions of Ubuntu, I've been able to like actually literally update to the latest one that came out um, without any issues at all. Okay, you can do it from scratch, or you can do it, one upgrade from one version of the distro to the other. So you can choose whichever you want. This one just came out, I think, this week, if I'm not mistaken. Right now I have 2504. I haven't updated to this one. Okay. But just you click here, download, you download the thing there, and then just follow the steps that they literally mention here in regards to how to install, for example. Oh, you want to download the ISO image and you want to do this and just follow the steps. Okay, it's not complicated. Don't be afraid of it. They even have a follow the step-by-step tutorial. Literally, they go through the whole process. This, if you've noticed from last year, has been updated heavily, heavily. Okay, and they go step by step and they guide you through everything, all the steps that you're gonna get there. Okay, rarely will you find an error if you don't follow the steps and start guessing. Okay, so but the actual installation process guides you in a much better way. That I can say. You're not gonna spend time guessing the storage that you gotta use for the UEFI or whatever. Okay, they actually guide you through there. I'm assuming you're not a developer or a system engineer like me or a system administrator, and you're just a normal person that wants to install Ubuntu and you want to start playing. That's why I'm doing this brief, super fast video. So you go to Ubuntu, you click on the download here, you actually download the image. I would recommend the latest one so you have the latest kernel, literally the latest from right now, the latest known, the latest everything, okay? Especially technology wise. Do be open minded in regards to that you'll need to learn new things like the new names for the new terminal, the new name for the new image viewer. I'm used to the old ones, but on Linux, independent of the distribution that you're using or you want to install, there's a rule that you gotta be open to learning new things always, which is a good thing actually. So after you install whichever you want, again, I'm recommending this one. You go to the how to install, you follow the steps either here, you actually click here and you follow those steps. Once you're done, once you've finished installing like everything, you press the super button. That's basically the Windows key on the keyboard, but that's called super. And just type update, and that's going to take you to this software updater here. Okay. Open that baby up. Make sure that you have the latest of everything. Boom, boom. After you install that, I'm not going to install it right now, but after you install that, then press the super again, and we're going to type repository. That's what I was about to type in there. Okay, so you will go to this one. That's a white letter A with a blue background because that's going to open the repository section here, especially this one, the additional drivers. Okay, so on the additional drivers, you will be able to select the latest AMD, the latest Nvidia, the latest some hardware that might need proprietary um, configuration. Okay, in my case, only in my case, because I have a 5000 series Nvidia card, I have to use the open version, again, open version of the latest driver. So in this case, it's the 580 open version. There's a non-open version like this one, the 570 or the 580 that don't say the word open. If you have a 5000 series Nvidia card, 580, 590, 560, 570, 5 whatever, okay? And you install the closed one like this, it's gonna fail. It's gonna give you a lot of, it's just not gonna work, okay? Let's just put it like that. You have to install the the one that ends in open, okay? I don't care which version. Obviously, the latest one is the one that I would be recommending, but I don't care. If you have a 4000 series, like another computer that I have here, which has the 490, then I can, it's open to interpretation. What do you want to install? I could install the closed one here, this one, or I could install that one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. After you do that, because it's a proprietary driver, obviously you gotta reboot the computer. You reboot the computer, and then you could sudo or not even sudo snap install Steam. Okay, snap install in Steam. That's one. The snap version of Steam has let's just say in most cases it has better performance than the Steam, the official Steam one. Steam download, the actual official one from the Steam page. So this one. If you click here, it'll download the Debian version. You just double click it, it'll install itself, and you have the Steam there in no time. But the Snap version does have better performance. Um, uh, Basically in most games it has better performance. You can see some of my videos that I was astonished by that. Why am I not using the Steam version? Because the Snap version. The Snap version doesn't support Mango HUD completely. And remember that I need to do benchmarking videos in real time. I don't edit them. I do them in real time. If the game fails, if they have bad performance, you'll see that in real time. I don't have time for the whole marketing of hiding that from you to get more views and whatever. No, no, no. You'll see in real time if you like it or not. That's it. So when the which is my only complaint, when the Snap version actually supports Mango HUD natively, including the video that I did about how to install Mango HUD and compile it yourself and all that. When it supports that, then I'll literally move to snapping, and that's it. After you've done installing Steam, and you got your games there and all that, remember that you gotta go to Steam. I did a video about this, but this is a short version of it. You go to settings, and then you have to configure the following things, okay? For some people, they want to allow downloads during gameplay. You want to make sure that the game, if you have obviously good internet, you want to allow updates for games and stuff like that while you're playing. So you want to enable that there. And the biggest one is this one, compatibility. You want to enable this and select whichever you want. Right now I'm using experimental because that way I don't have to be jumping one by one every time a new one comes out. No, no. I've been using experimental for the past 3 years, no issues whatsoever. Okay? So you enable that and it's gonna tell you, hey, you gotta reboot the Steam and stuff like that. Another thing that I would advise for some people is disable shaders. You don't want to enable this and then have to wait every time you open the games 3 days for the damn game to open. Okay, I hate this. When they make it faster and it doesn't suck up so much storage space, great. But this actually got to a point that I was using 25 gigabytes of cache, even from games that I was not even playing anymore. So you can disable this and there's very little to no performance gain. Like I know it says here This allows Vulkan OpenGL games to load fat. That's a BS. And improves frame rate. That's another BS because I've tested it with and without shaders. Without with and without this enabled, basically. Inside the game, they'll have their own shader pre-caching stuff like Hogwarts Legacy. That's one case. Yeah. But if you disable this, that's a total BS. Like the game doesn't load faster and stuff like that. Okay. At least in my experience with what the hell does it say there? 423 games. You can see them all here. I've been testing this again for the past 3 years or something. That's a lot of wasted money in there. Um, yeah, there's a lot of games here that I haven't even played yet. So you get my point. So once you have that ready, beautiful. What's the other case? Let's say that you fall into that where, oh my god, this game is having some issue or another. Okay, there's Proton DB. You go to Proton DB. Let's say that somebody put Little Nightmares. Okay, the three. Let me see somebody. There we go. So they put Little Nightmares, and well, it says platinum. That means that it'll work out, out of the box for you. But let's say that it doesn't say that. It just it failed or something. It has a less. Let's look for another game. Hogwarts. Okay, there. It's gold. Okay, so on gold, some people will start to comment, hey, you gotta put this launch options. Hey, you gotta do this. You gotta do that. Careful with a couple of them, like that one. You gotta, for example, this one. You gotta modify it. Like, by the way, game mode run doesn't do anything yet. That was before. There's no real performance gain and stuff like that. Especially because the Ubuntu has its own power balance and in mode here that basically replaces that. So if you see this, that just basically means the following. You right click a game here. Let's just do this one. Properties, and here's the launch options that they're talking about. Here's where you put all that information in here. Okay? And do know that we can play the latest games as I just uploaded from today, Little Nightmares 3, which came out today. So you can play games as new as this one, and you can play games as super, super old as this one that I'm about to show you. So Quest for Glory, I'm a big, super fan of Sierra Online, like everything that they did. And you can see that this is a 1990. Yeah, I like that sound. Sorry for that. And you can see that I've been playing it. If you've been Quest for Glory, yeah, you can see that it's amazing. The graphics. Here you can see DLSS. Look at that DLSS and the frame generation over there. Holy mother of. And if you come here, let me show you the stats so you can, like, I've been playing for a while, as you can see. Okay? So here are my things and blah, blah, blah. My point being, you can play really, really, really old games, Monkey Island, Police Quest, Space Quest, Dr. Brain games, etc. Or you can play the latest games in many of the cases. Except for one of the questions that I got today, which is Battlefield 1, does it still work on 2025? No. So there are games that are not going to work almost most of the time, let's put it like that. It's either an engine issue that also affects on window, or the second one, which is, are we anti-cheat yet? Are we anti-cheat yet? This is a great um, page where it tells you which companies, being a very good company and positive, with positive energy and yoga and mountains and rivers and stuff like that. I'm talking about EA games. Ubisoft, a bunch of them. Okay, so Battlefield 1, you can see it says denied. So if you go to the actual game, let's go to the details there for the game. By the way, for the are we anti-cheat? I should be able to click on the design intuitive. I should be able to click here and it takes me to the details. So it explains here that they went ahead and they literally blocked the game from Linux with a really, really sucky, very weak, the developers and the company are very lazy and they think everybody's a dumb person way of denying basically everything. So I did a video, and you could before they blocked that, I did it. I think 2 videos about Battlefield 1, and you saw the performance. There was no crashing. There was no nothing. Okay. Remember, this is a single player and a multiplayer one. So they could have done. Let's say that they wanted to block because of cheating or something. They could have blocked the multiplayer, but not the single player. No, they blocked everything. So yeah, that's that. Same for, by the way, same for basically, you can see all the ones that the companies actually blocked. They actually blocked. I'm amazed that Battlefield 4 is there still supported. I'm really amazed. But they actually blocked that one. This one, broken, for example. Let's click on that baby. You can see it's broken. There's no reference. Um, I played this. I didn't record it, but I played this, I would say, what, 6 to 8 months ago? It was working. Um, so I wouldn't know. And I played it because it's out of all the battlefields, is my favorite one, especially with all the extensions. Like after you install all of them. So anyway, you got the Are we anti-cheat yet? You got the Proton DB here to get more additional information about that. You got the Ubuntu.com on how to install Ubuntu there. You got this video for the Steam and the Proton configuration there. And if you have any comments or questions about something particular that happens on your computer, obviously you gotta leave the specs, like what CPU are you using. What Linux is not gonna do a miracle for everybody. Okay, so if you have a CPU that's literally from 2001 and you're complaining why the game doesn't work today in 2025, basically 24 years later, for a game that maybe is cyberpunk, you gotta you got some thinking to do. You gotta upgrade that baby, okay? But the hardware, I mean. But other than that, if you have an issue or something, put a comment, but also include your hardware. I'm assuming that your complaint requires me to ask, hey, what's the specs? What specs do you have so I can help you here and there with either a driver or email you or whatever. Okay. So by the way, the Europa 1400, the gold edition, the guild actually works beautifully. I played it way too many times, so you can see all games and really, really, really new games work beautifully. Okay. If there's an issue, now you know why in most cases. Okay. Hope you like the video. Hope it clears some ideas. Don't be afraid of installing Ubuntu. Obviously, do your backup or whatever for your whatever you have on your computer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And you can see that I've tested more than 200 games out of the 400 that are here. I think it's 300 or something like that. So this is more than enough evidence to suggest that um, there's a high probability that your game will work on Linux, and in some cases even better FPS. And that's it. Big hugs. Think positive, guys. Bye.